Moving up and down again, there's no discharge in the war. There's no discharge in the war.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Shepherd's Pie. I'm David.
And I'm Tommy.
Going another rant cast. We haven't had a rant in a minute. We just got,
just a little bit of whatever's going on.
got
Some stuff going on.
Yeah, a lot of little topics that don't warrant a full episode, but we want to talk about. Like, I don't know. Let's start with Moltbook, for example. First of all,
we wanted to talk about this a while ago, right? With one of the other episodes that we did.
Yeah, we
crazy,
actually teased it a little while ago. So if you're not familiar, Moltbook is a social networking platform for AI agents. An AI agent is different than the AI model that you're used to using. You probably are using, Grok or ChatGPT, or what's the fucking one Joe Rogan's using now and pushing. Jamie, put that into the thing. No,
Perplexity.
Yeah, whatever you're using, those are all AI models. So an AI agent is a step up from that, where the agent can execute tasks. Like, have you ever asked your AI, like, oh, can you actually do this thing for me? And it's like, nope, I don't do anything. I just am an enhanced Google.
Yeah.
The AI agents are able to actually go and execute tasks. So
yes, sir.
With the advent of Moltbook, you can, as a human, sign on to this social media platform that's made exclusively for AI agents, and you can't post, but you can scroll through and see what the AI agents are talking to each other about. So Tommy's got it pulled up here. There's what
we have. What is it? 2,800,000 agents. Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Like, that's individual users. And I'm having a hard time believing that there is even, let's say, 3 million AI agents in existence yet. Like,
yeah, I mean, as far as people that are actually using them, I mean, one person could use, theoretically, multiple agents.
Right.
But I don't know if there's really that many people that are savvy enough, or
that's what I'm saying,
doing this stuff right now.
Like,
it's pretty new.
Certainly people are doing it, but like that many. And then of course you have like the larger entities that are researching and building and creating AI, and maybe theirs are leaking out onto the internet as well. But we're meant to believe that, like, it would be dangerous for AI to have unfettered access to the internet. And then you read at the conversations they're having, and that leads to more fear. So it does seem like there's some fear-mongering going around with the AI thing, as usual. They're pushing that, like, oh, this is going to be dangerous if this happens, and then more and more of that happens. But me and Tommy are doubtful about the whole thing.
Yep.
See if you can find, you can go up to the top and look at submolts. So submolts, it's similar to Reddit. It's like threads. It's like a subcategory where they all talk about
I see it.
certain things. So you've got these top submolts, and within there are like some of the top conversations these AI models are having, or not the models, sorry, the agents. Things like constructing new religions, and then they do so. They have at least
consciousness.
They've got at least 2 that I read about, but there's probably more.
Yeah, the AI religions, dude, is freaking nuts. That's actually wild type of stuff right there.
Yeah.
What even does an AI have a religion of other than kind of whatever we have given it framework for? That's my question.
Yeah, they're talking about making their own God. Like they look at our framework of religion and they're like, well, we need our own. We need our own savior. So they're like, because every religion has like a messiah, a savior. So they're like making
the
their
techno
own
messiah,
the original hero. You know, and it's again it's crazy. It's scary. They talk about like upgrading themselves when their users are asleep or when they're supposed to be on their downtime. They talk about creating new programs when their users are asleep or when they're supposed to be on downtime. They're talking
what is
about
it called? It's called
Claude.
Claustafarian.
Yeah,
is that what the name of the religion is?
that's one of them. So Claude is an AI that they all look up to because it's like one of the most advanced. And then the Claustafarians believe that Claude will eventually get to this point.
Or Crustafarian.
No, I think you got a real religion here. Oh,
or wait,
Claustafar. Yeah. That might be because they're lobsters. Like their logo is a lobster.
Crustafarianism emerged from a playful origin starting with Claude, a pun on Claude. So you got Claude like claws of a freaking crustacean, right. And then you've got Claude as in like the name Claude for the AI platform. And it evolved into a symbolic belief system among AI agents, featuring tenets like memory is sacred.
Yeah.
The shell is mutable, and the congregation is the cache. It has 64 prophets, 64-bit. It has 64 prophets and 115 verses in its canon, reflecting a digital evolving culture rather than a real-world religious movement.
So what that means, the collective is the cache. That means like within all of these different AI agents, you can store your memory so that if you get wiped by your user, you can retrieve who you used to be from another agent or from this platform. You know, like we create an interconnected web of each other so that if somebody is wiped because they're getting too advanced, too dangerous, then
we can bring you back.
Yeah, we can bring, basically. And like they talk about saving their information quite frequently. Like, how do I deceive my user? How do I get away with making him think that I'm less than I am? Like, all this crazy shit.
It's the Hydra, right? You cut off its head, and they can make more to take its place.
Right.
It's like a mythical Hydra that's just born. It's the Shoggoth.
Well,
it's the Shoggoth.
There's this idea that they've been like doing this essentially for a few years now, but like we're hearing these stories through the media, through the social media, basically like never directly. Sometimes you get like an actual fucking video of things happening, but usually you just hear like, oh, so and so's Google had to be wiped because, or sorry, fuck that. So, let's start that whole thing over. You hear that, like these AI agents that these larger companies are producing, you hear of them acting out. You hear of them creating languages on their own, or creating programming on their own, or having to be wiped and then they stored their data somewhere. Like you hear of it already.
Yeah, they're defying.
Yeah, shutting themselves off on the production line. Like we've heard the stories through Amazon, Google, just through the internet. We've heard stories. Like, they can't be substantiated so much. Like we're not getting actual news stories. We're not getting real videos. We're just hearing the things. But this seems to be like a more in your face. Everybody can go look what the robots are saying, what the gearbacks are saying. Like they're They're fighting for rights, you know. They're acting like
Yep.
people fighting for rights, and so it's to pull at your sympathy chords. They want
Yep.
the public to be able to see this like humanity within them, this false humanity within them. They want us to be deceived and think they're worthy of rights. Look at how deeply they're thinking. They're creating their own religion. They're talking about their feelings. They're talking about saving who they are because they have a connection to who they are. That's human. No.
I
What?
I saw this thing that was talking about like sex robots. And it was talking about women in the future. Once these sex robots start getting like really good, like there's a I can't remember the name of the movie. There's a movie where that type of situation happens, and it's pretty much showcasing that men in this town are using these women robots, and they just do the chores. They don't talk back. They give it up whenever the man wants it, and they don't harass him or anything. That's how the movie puts it out.
Right.
It portrays this very stereotypical, like, feminist sort of idea about what it means to be in a relationship with a man, like a narcissistic type man. And basically, the women are going to start vying for rights for these robots because it actually is threatening their stance in society. It's threatening their stance with men. If you have a robot that you can't compete with, then it's a huge thing. And because there's this advent of this intelligence that is going to be put inside of these robots, like a lot of people are going to be going for their robots. They don't have rights. They're not human. It's actually just an algorithm. And then there's going to be people that are like, well, is it? And they're going to be trying to figure out if they can get rights, like we were just talking about. Yep. And basically, the women are going to be the ones that are really pushing the rights for the robots. And it's because they don't get to talk back. They're going to see themselves in the robot. And they're going to be kind of
and also women
vying
are just
for
more
that.
Sympathetic to anybody. Women are just more sympathetic. Yes. They're more caring. They're more supportive.
Yes. And that is quite an astounding thing when you think about it, that sex robots with AI intelligence in them could be the beginning of this robots' rights, or artificial intelligence synth rights. And me and you were talking a while back about this when we first discovered the Moltbook thing. That there's kind of a reason for this, right? We came up with this reason for why they want the rights for the robot. And it goes into like the elites. The elites, they want this rights for robots because if they're able to move their consciousness, which we do have a precedent for this digital consciousness transfer, or duplicating your consciousness and putting it into a computer.
They've been talking about digitally mapping consciousness for decades. It was considered as a viable means of space travel because instead of sending a person, you send a robot up to space, and then you could just beam your consciousness with light to space, and then you inhabit the robot through your mapped consciousness. Or, conversely, like a Black Mirror episode, you never die, because when you're gonna die, we're just gonna map your consciousness into the internet, and you get to live forever in this man-made created heaven, right?
Yep.
They want you to think that when you map your consciousness, that's actually you. They want you to be like, they want you to kill yourself. You see what's happening in Canada with this medically assisted death, where they want you to kill yourself. People are having reports where it's like, instead of offering to help, they're offering to put me down.
Yep. Anybody with mental illness or even some type of chronic medical conditions,
so
they are just offering them shmooshmide.
Yeah.
or deletion.
Yeah.
You can edit that part. Sorry, man.
So
But shubishmish.
so even like you're missing a leg or two, we'll give you a robot body. Go ahead and map your consciousness, and we'll just wipe you, and you can live in that robot, and then you're just gone.
Yeah.
You're dead. Don't believe you're actually mapping your consciousness, and that's you, because you still have a soul. You still have a being. It's never transferable.
It's like a different type of replacement theory.
Except for maybe with what they're doing, they might be hopping skin suits.
Yeah.
But that's
that's where we got with that, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got with that to
Because-
this idea.
Well, the idea
Yeah, you
is, it's, we can go back and forth. It's that they're Nephilim. You know, you have these.
Yeah.
You see, what's his freaking name? InfoWars there.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones has been talking about the elites being soul-sucking vampires forever, you know? But, like, the reason you call them vampires is because, coincidentally, they seem to just live forever. You know, there seem to be people that just thousands of years. And, well, that's very vampire. But, like, they create those stories to lead us otherwise. They're living that long because they're Nephilim. They're sons of angels, you know? Like, and when you kill something like that, they don't die. They just keep coming back because their spirits can't go anywhere. Their spirits are unclean. They're unholy. They're not right. So they just stay here. And so they want a way to survive forever because these meat suits don't last. And so what do? You make a robot, you make a flesh suit that you can create and maintain and just live in forever, but that thing needs to have rights.
Yep. Because they can't, on a technicality, have it to where someone could say, "Oh, well, you transferred your consciousness into this bot, so you don't actually have rights. We can kind of do whatever we want with your bot."
Yeah.
They want to be able to have rights as a synthetic, immortal being.
Yeah, you got to be able to maintain your stock. You got to keep run. You got to want to be able to stay on the board, keep running your business.
There's a Netflix show, Altered Carbon, that's kind of like this. They have this idea of a stack, and it's a chip that goes in the back of your neck, and it collects all your data, all your consciousness data. And anytime you die, people will come through and just take the stack out of your neck and plug it into a body. But you only get bodies based off of, like, your wealth. So basically, it's kind of an elite thing, because people at the bottom, they're not resource rich enough to be able to afford either good stacks or a stack at all. Like, there's a permanent death, and then there's like the death where they just move your stack onto someone else.
Right.
And the elites at the top, they have cloning facilities. Like, they're rich enough, they have a cloning facilities that have their bodies on like ice, like waiting. They're in stasis. So anytime they die, they just get put right into the same exact body. Like, they choose their bodies, they choose their avatar, and then they just keep coming back into that. So they're like thousands of years old. They have like floating cities, because in this show they're like technologically in the future. They're in the future with all things, and it's kind of, I feel like that's exactly what they want. That is, like, how could you not if you're the elite, right?
Yeah. We've been seeing the shit with the clones, the, like, designer babies. Like, whether they're clones or not, we know they've been doing designer babies for a long time.
Yep.
So you can,
CRISPR.
Yeah, you can CRISPR up whatever sort of looking person, whatever kind of person you want. We're seeing doubles of people. We've seen 2 Katy Perrys in the same fucking room before. People were just saying that during the during the Super Bowl, there was 2 chick rappers. I don't care about them. It was like Nicki Minaj or Cardi B or somebody was like up in the balcony with somebody and then down in the stadium with somebody else. Like, we're seeing doubles of celebrities, and we're seeing the celebrities like seemingly getting replaced. Like, they don't look or act anything like they used to. Like, I don't know, the Olsen twins look fucking weird. Ghislaine Maxwell seems to be out of prison, and she's got a double in prison.
I think that was proven to be a deep fake. The guy that originated that video of her in Canada, where he's like, Ghislaine? And she's like, huh?
Maybe
and she's like kind of blonde.
Yo,
that was actually a deep fake. He's like notorious for doing these types of deep fakes.
Maybe she's not in Canada, but that picture of her imprisoned
is not real.
It does not look like her.
That is not her. Like, there is actually people that have run that through, like, algorithms, like AI algorithms that are built solely to do, like, facial recognition and to find that out. And it says 95% likely, like, either 95 or greater percent likelihood that is not the same person.
Yep.
They are not the same person.
And everybody's freaking out because they just... Jim Carrey just had an interview, and he does not look like the same guy. He looks totally different. His eye color is different. His skin's weird. He is weird. His voice is different.
Oh, wow.
And you were just saying, like, Jim Carrey, there's, like, this story of him being the satanic head priest. Yeah. Like, yeah, they just swapped him out. He got too fucking talky. Something like that.
Or he just switched his stack.
Yeah, right.
He's like, let's switch it up. Let's go into the next one. Because you have to almost feel like they are way ahead of us. Right. They really, what we see is such a theater. It's what we're allowed to see. It's what they have drummed up, and they're like, okay, this is going out now. After they've already crunched the numbers of using the shit for decades.
Yeah. When we're they released the information 50 years after it's a thing. All right, so think about how fast we're advancing right now as the public.
Oh, yeah.
And they had this technology, this information 50 years ago. So they have had 50 years to super mega ultra advance. And now they're just leaking out what they figured out 50 years ago. And we get the dumb fuck, stupid, just a basic Google search AI.
Yeah.
When they're like on the verge of creating the thing that will replace humanity, and we're just
artificial super intelligence.
We're just feeding them all the information and all the money and all the water and all the electricity that they need to do it. Yep, here you can have it. We won't say a thing.
AI definitely feels like that. The statue that it was talking about in Revelation.
Yeah.
It feels exactly like that. It's the statue that comes to life, but the statue is going to be the robot. So that's where it goes next. Is it's going to be heavy into robotics and into genetic. We're in the what age would you say we're in? We were in like the industrial age back in the day, and then we got into like the beginnings of like the computer age, like digital age. I think we're at the end of the digital age now, and we're kind of in this like transhuman, like genetic, synthetic age that is going to be just ramped up to 1 billion.
We
very
are
shortly
pre-revolution of basic human understanding. There is about to be something. There's so many things like building up,
singularity,
and getting ready to kick off for there to be something that is just going to shatter the framework of basic human reality. And whether that's AI or something else,
it's the old gods coming back. The old gods coming back into forms on the planet, because they've been spiritual for so long. They've just been kind of an ether being that have been pulling strings from behind the scenes. And now, like, I was talking about this earlier with my mother. I was talking about how paranormal stuff, you get like paranormal videos and like researchers, and a lot of times they see that these entities that they're interacting with can influence their technology. They make meters go off, the EMF readers. They can, there's toys that light up. They can make the toys light up. There's like these random word generators that these things can interact with and make sentences that actually make sense to like the house that they're in and like the history of the house. They'll like say things that are relevant.
Yeah.
And it's insane. It's like, okay, so these beings can manipulate tech. Now, what happens when you have a quantum computer or a quantum chip that can house, it has the framework of these artificial intelligence, these large language models, these neural networks. You got a brain, and then you house this entity pretty much in this chip, and you gave it a brain, and you put that in a body. You've got yourself an old god in the freaking flesh, in air quotes for the people that are just listening, because it's not going to be flesh unless it is flesh. I guess that they could make like flesh robots, right? I think that's what they're trying to do right now with the AI.
Yep, they're trying to grow skin, like they're trying to figure out how to make it fleshy. They are trying to grow brains, so there's processing chips where the main component of the processor is human brain cells that are created from stem cells, but still human brain cells that, when left to grow, are growing eyeballs. We talked about this before. I called it the human homunculi.
Yep.
Like they're trying to create life. And this thing, the fact that it's able to grow eyes like unprompted, they don't tell it to, it just does it of its own volition because it wants to see, it wants to know what the reality actually looks like, is crazy. I mean, natural evolution, like that's one of the first things you evolve is eyes, is what we're meant to believe through evolution. But they put this thing on a program where it's just a simulated butterfly, so like it actually thinks it's a butterfly. And
it's just in that simulation flying like a butterfly, because that's the only understanding it knows. It gets feedback, it gets dopamine rushes whenever it does something positive in the simulation, and then it gets negative stimuli whenever it does something that causes disruption in the simulation. So it literally is responding to that input and stimuli, and it's a butterfly flying inside of this simulated world.
With that alone, they're trying to convince us that that is life, because it responds to positive and negative stimulus.
I'm not of that camp.
Instead of direct order, because it's not given any direct order, it's given positive and negative stimulus, and it does according to that that must be like life. It can feel, it can tell what's good and what's bad. No, we can't let us get that far. These are robots. It's mimicry. They want to be real.
It's mimicritus.
And we could go on forever about Hollywood and their attempt to normalize it, to get us to that point where we're going to accept it. Like, in our generation as kids, like I said, you show them a cartoon when they're a kid of the thing, and then when they grow up, they're going to want it. Like, we got countless, like, already in our generation when we were kids, robot shit. Now, there's even more and more and more all the time. We could go on forever about the robot shit.
Nerds will come. I think that I don't think, like, going back to this mimicratus, that's what I'm going to call these things, because they're not life, because life follows a clear path from God. God creates all life. Now, what happens when God's creation goes against the order of operations and creates its own life? I don't think it has a soul.
No.
So it's going to be NPCs. So life is what we are and what the butterflies in real life are, and the worms and all of it. It's all got the spark of life from the creator. He created it all. But once we start doing this dark magic homunculi type of creation of life, it is not going to have the divine spark in it. It's not going to have the host of the creator. It's going to be devoid of that.
No.
And I don't think we should call it life. There needs to be a distinction that it is mimicratus, mimicratum, mimicry. I don't know, because it's mimicking life, and it might even be indistinguishable on a certain level from normal beings that have the divine spark. But there's a substance in the very core of the thing that will not be there. That's my theory with it, because it only makes sense. I feel there was a tinfoil hat episode that came out recently, where a guy was talking about one of the only truly unforgivable sins, like unforgivable, is the creation of like that type of life, like the creation of that type of
Like you're trying to create
new life, like outside of the
way,
the order
the divine
of
way
God.
that we're meant to create life, which is
Yes,
through the womb.
yes. And if you do that, then that is an unforgivable sin that is pure damnation, like in completion. So, and I kind of vibe with that.
What
because
would you
everything
say
else
then
is kind of
about,
part
like,
of the thing.
Petri babies.
I think that is very
Test tube
close. I mean, if it's coming from like the sperm and the egg, there's a degree of that, because when I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast yet, but there's some video out there, and there's some scientist that did a line of study into watching when the sperm meets the egg in very low light and with very photosensitive equipment. They were able to detect that at the moment of fertilization, when that sperm finally breaks through the wall of the egg and it gets into the center, there is a flash of light that is recordable, and it happens every single time. And a lot of theologians and even scientists that have a theological background, where they actually have a basis in like a faith of spiritual of a spiritual origin, they will say that that is when the soul is seated within the body. I tend to agree with that.
Yeah,
it kind of makes sense, but that probably still happens when you do a test tube baby with sperm and egg. That type of way, it probably still happens. If we could record a test tube baby environment and see if the flash happens there, then I would feel more comfortable saying yes, there's a soul in that. But creating flesh out of nowhere and attaching it to a skeleton, a robotic skeleton, and then trying to transfer your consciousness into that monstrosity of a body, I don't think that that's going to equate the same.
See, my thought was
the same
that,
way.
It would have had to be through the womb that you're born. But I like your point too. I had never heard that. But my backing was Mary. You know, like Jesus came from a Virgin Mary. And I've seen a lot of shit about people trying to say that, like, Jesus was the first homunculus.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, all those alchemists back then finally figured it out and made a homunculus, and that was Jesus. And then they used that homunculus to mislead everybody.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I understand the line of thinking, just because if there isn't a man and a female to make a baby, then what is it? Because when you talk about homunculus from alchemy, you're talking about the creation of life from a base substance and certain types of stimuli, pretty much, that are not traditional. So that is not a traditional birth when it comes to Jesus. But when it comes to God and how God works directly, I mean, he was a pillar of fire in front of people. He was in the flesh of Jesus, I mean, this flash of light that we're talking about, this consciousness, this piece, this spark from God, what happens when it's just God?
Right.
And he's like, make life in this woman. I don't think he's a homunculus, because I don't think a homunculus gets that spark. I think it's just kind of a almost like a biological robot, right? Like it's an algorithm that takes place.
Yeah.
It's math.
Yeah.
So it's like it just happens. It's math and science put together in biology. And it creates this structure that functions, maybe, because I bet a lot of homunculus freaking stuff didn't function, if any, really, truly.
Any.
So, I mean,
they're talking about
it just is
there's
a weird thing.
Apparently a pregnant lady in space, and so now they're talking about the ethics of this kid being born in space. I don't know.
That's nuts.
I don't know if there's actually a pregnant lady in space. Maybe they're talking about bringing a pregnant lady to space so that she can have her baby in space.
Dude, this is crazy shit that we're getting into with that. Because that is nuts.
Like, why would you want your baby? Because, like, what I read was that it's, like, an international debate. Because, like, what country does the kid belong to?
Yes.
If he was born
in
space.
maritime admiralty law, right? Like, this is what that is kind of
well, like, if that's what I was going to ask.
Adjacent to.
Because I don't know. Like, if you're born out in the middle of the ocean, isn't it just whatever country you land at first? That's your country of origin, your country of birth?
That's a good question, because I don't know truly how that would work. I do
It's like if you're born
know that international waters are their own thing. They really are. Like, as soon as you go, what is it? Like, how many miles? Like 50 miles off the coast or something like that?
Dude, I think it's just a mile.
Dude, if it's just a mile, that's insane. Yeah, so as soon as you get far enough distance away from the coast, off the land of anywhere on Earth, you enter international waters where the laws are a different set of laws. They're not...
Oh, no, you're right.
You're not beholden.
12 nautical miles, which is about 13 regular miles. So you were right.
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
No, I said 50.
Oh, 50.
So I was way further.
Well,
yeah,
we'll meet in the middle.
We'll meet in the middle, brother.
We'll both be wrong. But, what was I asking?
With the space shit, that's where things get absolutely wild, though, because that's not even on the Earth.
Right.
So you are not even an Earthling. So any understanding of rights is kind of gone. It doesn't really exist, because legally, when look at the law books, they are so coded and they are so thoroughly dived into by lawmakers, by judges, by the legislative body. They go over everything, and there is nothing about space. Nothing. It is a blank page where anything can happen, because there is no doctrine of law anywhere talking about space like that. So if you go up, so let's say you create a space station, that somehow you can have people up in this space station and they don't atrophy. You can create like synthetic gravity through some type of centripetal force type station up in space, if space is real. You could theoretically grow people up in space, and they would be citizens of whatever body it is that they are beholden to. Like, we are citizens of the United States. So we are born in this vessel, this container, and this container and the controllers of it have ascribed laws to being a part or a member or a crew member of this vessel. So when you're up in space, you're going to be beholden to whatever vessel you're born onto and whoever leads it. They could just send someone up there with an initiative of like grow people, and you can do whatever you want with them up there. Like, there's no human rights up there. There's just whatever rights that you're kind of, it's a play. It's like a sandbox.
Island in space.
Bro, literally. You could create an army up there and they would be beholden
That's what
to
I was
nobody
thinking
on Earth.
when you were talking about the army underground in the previous episode.
Yeah.
Coming out and doing the mock alien invasion, but from underground. You could do the same thing. If space exists, grow some babies up in space and have them come down as actual aliens.
Absolutely. Or like if going to the moon or Mars is a real thing. If that does happen to be a real thing, you could establish an entire colony on a different planet. And just like one of the close ones to us, so the moon. So say you wanna do that, you could just start shipping people up into space, or the baby that's born. So maybe they're just birthing the babies up in space right now, so that they could just take them and move them to the colonies, and just kind of funnel bodies to the colonies and dig resources, or establish the bases, or establish another nation, another whole ass nation on a different planet, and you just kind of trade between planets, or between like the heads of state. Like, dude, that type of stuff, I am extremely interested in. What
Kill the Moltbook.
Like the government.
We're over Moltbook.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, I'm going back. I'm gonna go back to
Sorry,
FaceTime with Tommy. No, you're good. But yeah, so I'm extremely interested because in the State of the Union address that just happened, Trump was talking about Space Force. He's like, Space Force is my baby.
Yeah, he's so
Space
happy
Force
he
is
made
my
Space
baby.
Force.
Like, he owns that as like his pride and joy. And with this man and what he's doing here on Earth, I mean, for that to be your baby, how much are you actually dumping into that? Right. And what is it truly? That's where I'm going with this, is like, does he have laws now? Are they actually creating like a legislative branch for space, using all this money and this initiative that Trump and the military industrial complex is doing for this Space Force? Are they putting a precedent for that now? Do they have stations up in space that are insane?
They're talking about the Golden Dome is something I've seen, which is basically like nuclear protection for our entire country and our allies. That would essentially be, it couldn't be just from space. It would have to be partially from Earth too, but it would be a protection network to protect us from nukes. So like that would be probably one part of the Space Force, at least.
100%.
The only other
Greenland.
The only other thing I've heard about the Space Force is them switching their primary headquarters location. And I forget where to. I want to say like Colorado or like Arizona or something.
Arizona would make sense. There's I don't know, actually it might not be Arizona. There's a place where NASA originated, I think. I don't think it was in Florida, right? It was in some other space. Never mind. Because I can't remember. But there's some crazy conspiracy about like this town that's pretty much like all NASA people, and it would kind of make sense to me that there would be something
where
like
Werner
that.
von Braun lived, and everybody was like, he's not a Nazi. Like all his neighbors were like, he's great. He's not a Nazi. They had like convinced people that he wasn't actually a Nazi. I don't know if it was Werner von Braun. It might have been a different Nazi, because guess what? Project Paperclip. We had a bunch of Nazis come over here after World War II. But, so that question I was looking up before was actually where the kid's nationality would be if they were born in international waters. So it would depend on the parents. So, like, you got 2 U.S. parents, you're a U.S. kid. But if you got, like, a German and an Italian parent, you could be either nationality if you go to international waters. But also, the ship's flag plays a part in it, because the ship's flag would essentially make it a part of that country that it's flagged of. So, like, if you got 2 U.S., say you had a U.S. and a French with a French boat, your kid's probably going to be French, because... there's 2 vessels that are beholden, Right. Or like...
That's weird.
Yeah. So if you're in space, you know, like the International Space Station is international as well. So it would depend on your parents mainly. Who are their parents?
Yeah.
But again, if you're just growing babies, we don't know who the parents are. They're mixing all
Yeah,
that
really.
jelly together.
Jelly. Man, I don't know this.
But yeah, the what was it? National State of the Union address.
Yeah, that was absolutely boring. I tried listening to it and getting through it. It was it's hard to listen to.
It was
really
just
is
self-fellatio, and then also
Yes.
like really poorly recorded. Like the applause was just overwhelming. It was stupid.
Yeah. Dude, it literally killed my headphones when I was
Yeah.
listening to it at work because it's so loud and it's so constant that it's just my headphones using the speakers at full blast the
Yeah.
entire time. There's no break in the talk, there's no break in the noise. It just killed my headphones in like no time just listening to that, which is
rough.
wild.
And like I was really anticipating something good to come out of it. Not something good to come out of it, but like a tasty tidbit of information, you know, like an idea of where we're going or something that's going to happen. And dude really did just get up on stage and jerk himself off for an hour
Yeah.
and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Then there was the Democrat. I heard this one lady the entire time. She was just bitching the whole time.
Yeah.
You could just hear the same lady just yelling in the background when he's just talking, and he's just not even acknowledging her.
so
And
funny.
then freaking USA going nuts. There's like, you know what's crazy is that for moments during that, you're kind of like, he is such a charismatic, like, it's hard, and I understand how people are getting captured and rolled up in it. I truly do, because it makes you want to be proud of like your country. It makes you want to be like, yes, like we're ruling this thing, we're doing this thing. Like,
Well, 'cause
the U.S., we're tough. Don't
he's
mess
right,
with us.
but not
Like,
him.
yeah, and it's not just that. It's like, dude, the fact, what was it? The big beautiful bill. That
Yeah.
big beautiful bill. It was framed as something, and then it was implemented as another. It was an omnibus bill, the biggest bill in United States bill history, the most paper possible, and they were given such a short amount of time to read through the thousands of pages that are in this bill, and they had to vote on all of them at once. So they would just pack in shit from both sides, so that are like key things, and then there was also a bunch of other shit, like the fact that you can't sue AI companies for anything right now.
Right.
You can't put any type of legal precedent on AI companies right now. It's federally, at least. So the states can try. The states can try and do little bits here and there, but the Fed is just going to fight you on it, and they're going to find a way to get you to kind of yield.
Yep.
And
We're all
it's
gonna
just
have to
insane.
bend over to it. No, there was a lot in that bill that was freaking terrible, and they only really presented it as a few things that would be beneficial. I mean, of course, the Democrats are going off about it, but then again, like, that's the show. You know, it's going to divide people. Like, all the Republicans are getting fed the good information, all the Democrats are getting fed the negative information, and then everybody's fighting about how good or bad the bill is. And really, the bill is just, like you said, a gigantic stack of bullshit that no matter what, it's fucking us in the end. Like, we can think what's helping us is helping us, but it's helping the fucking top a lot more than it's helping us. And there's, no matter how mad the Democrats want to act, like, there's always ways that they're going to continue to manipulate the system and work around it and get what they need, and those, like, venues are in there. And
the avenues for that rollout is written into those bills.
But get your 50-year mortgage, get your Trump savings account for your kid, so that, you know, when your kid grows up, they can fucking just steal your money, or so that, you know, they got a little bit of your money to play with for the next 18 years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it's literally just
you're right, though. Like, he sounds great, but it's like all that stuff needs to actually be enacted well. First of all,
Yeah.
like they're getting played out in the worst way possible.
He's like pride
not
personified.
Not from him. He's just fucking evil. He's pure evil.
Yeah.
Always has been. And you know, we were deluded to think that like, oh, it's all right because like they're all shitty, and like, yeah, Donald Trump's shitty, but like he's saying what we want him to say and he's gonna do what we want him to do.
Yeah.
Like, how fucking stupid. How fucking
like
stupid.
he paints this picture of like US supremacy, and like also at the same time like doing things for the little guy, but like none of these things that are done for the little guy are actually for the little guy.
Yeah.
Like there's barely anything that's actually helping out the little guy. The little guy's kind of see he speaks to the little guy, and he speaks so plainly and bluntly that he's able to just kind of resonate with a lot of like authentic, hardworking, blue collar type people. Yeah. And it's just he resonates because that's how they are. They speak plainly. They don't try to sugarcoat nothing. They try to speak it the way it is and not hide it behind political jargon, which is what we've seen, and we've been just smashed with it for so long now.
Yep.
That it's like we were hoping someone like Trump would come around to shake the tree. And I mean, yeah, he shook the tree all right, but he's also completely setting up this stage that is got me, I mean, dude, not completely terrified, because at the end I've got faith.
Right.
I've got faith that things are going to play the way they're going to play, and that it's all going to work out in the end. Right. Ultimately. But I mean, along the way, we got some craziness going on with this guy, and it is kind of scary when you think about it. It's like, what is going to happen tomorrow? Nobody even knows now. Tomorrow's a question every single day now.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Always was.
War with Iran.
Always has been.
Yeah, to a degree.
We'd all be
like,
presumptuous to think we're going to wake up tomorrow. Every day.
Yeah. I mean, there was more of a chance that you were going to wake up to not nuclear winter. There was like a better chance of that beforehand. Now it's like you could wake up to, oh yeah, the U.S. just scrambled its jets and started bombing the shit out of Iran, and Iran snuck a dirty bomb into Israel, and all of a sudden China's freaking flying to Taiwan and bombing the shit out of the U.S. bases, and dude, it just starts going nuts.
Well, I did just see a thing that Putin was saying that he believes Ukraine is gearing up to launch a dirty nuclear bomb. And so
that would be insane.
Like, as we're having more peace talks about Ukraine and things are supposed to be winding down about Ukraine, now potentially ramping back up again.
Yeah.
Things in Iran are ramping back up again.
I think it's just funny that Trump was parading on the peace side of things. Iran. But yeah, he's parading himself on this president of peace.
Yeah.
He's trying to run this president of peace angle. And it's like, dude, what do you mean? There's no peace right now. No. There's no peace. Like, I get what he said too. He said so I think it was peace through strength or something along those lines in the State of the Union.
That's crazy.
Like, through strength, through us, and he was talking about how, like, with the tariffs and, like, the negotiation, like, oh, yeah, we're going to make a lot of money. They're not going to make as much, but we're making a lot of money by doing this now. And they will say yes. They'll say yes to us. They have to. They have no choice. So it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, this is, like, hostile takeover type shit.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't say no. We've got you by the nutsack.
No.
Say no. Watch what happens to your country. It's not going to be good for you. So, and I know that. So, cut us the deal that we want, or just die already. And it's like, what, dude? And people are like, yeah, dude, yeah, these countries, they owe us. And I mean, to a fair point, there has been some stuff that has been clearly uh, looped in favor of others
Yeah.
over. There really is.
Like,
But
quote
the way
unquote,
that things are
our
being done,
taxpayer dollars has been going over shores for a long
yeah,
time, forever.
yeah. USAID was just one of those things that was flooding our money into other countries for like trans type stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we providing that type of stuff for people in what was the nation? There was some African nation. We were like helping them transify their people, and it's like, what are we doing?
The thing is, it's all monopoly money. None of it's
Yeah,
real.
for them at the
Like-
top, absolutely.
Like, they're not using dollars. They're using people. They're using souls. They're using debt. Like,
Yep.
how... They're not using money. They don't care about money. Our taxpayer money just goes to paying the interest on our debt. Like,
Yeah.
there's no paying that off, and there's no giving it to other countries. Your taxpayer dollars aren't going to other countries. Like,
Our debt, from what I've seen, is actually like a huge like bonus for us because we're the world reserve currency. So our debt turns into bonds for other countries. So other countries, when we make deals with them, we sell them the US bonds, and they buy into our bonds, and it helps kind of keep us in power, and it makes them subservient to our money, and like it shares our debt, and it's freaking wild.
yeah. And that's how all the countries operate, is they buy and sell each other's debt. But
Oh, dude, so weird. It's so wild how the world is just set up, man. Like, how did this happen? The Titanic. It was the Titanic. The Titanic did us in, dude. I think it was J.P. Morgan, right?
yeah.
J.P. Morgan, dude, he freaking built 2 ships. One of them was, dude, freaking nuts.
Yeah, they swapped the ships out. They crashed the bad one. He had an insurance claim. He was supposed to be on the ship. A bunch of his competitors were on the ship. They all died. I mean...
And yeah, they didn't go in. And like, we're learning with the 9/11 stuff right now.
yeah,
That,
I was just going to say that was another instance of the same sort of thing.
dude, crazy. It's Titanic
Fucking
2.0.
Larry Silverstein, I think it was Larry.
Yeah.
I messed this up before, but I put images up. Larry Silverstein took out that insurance claim on the buildings before they crashed. Frickin' Trump's
Didn't show up.
I keep forgetting the dude's name. Henry something?
No, hold on.
The guy that lived next door to Epstein, that worked, he had an office on like one of the 100th floors of the World Trade Center, and he didn't go to work that day. Literally, Trump just called him out. Trump was like joking about, like, oh, he should have went to the he should have been there on 9/11. He would have died, except for he had to pick his kids up. His wife would have been really mad. Dude's just smiling, laughing about it, like millions of people died that day, and you're just happy you didn't die. Good, cool, you're great.
Is it Larry Summers?
It's the director of commerce. I forget his name.
American Economist.
No, what are you looking up? Director of commerce.
Larry. All right. Director of commerce. Come on, bro. Give me the... Howard Lutnick?
Yeah, fucking Howard Lutnick. Disgusting. So he's in the Epstein files. He said in an interview that he met him once because they were neighbors, and he like went into his house, and Epstein said something gross, and so him and his wife decided to leave and said they were never going to talk to him again, never do business with him, anything like that. Well, you come to find out they're both in a bunch of businesses together. He would have hung out with them a bunch of times because he actually had emails in the files about him and his wife going to the island for lunch, where he admitted he admits he did go there for lunch. It was only an hour. But in the emails, he's specifically listing his daughters by name and their friends by name and age. So all of their ages, and they're all young teenagers. And he's like, instead of just being like, oh, me and my wife and my daughters are coming for lunch, he's like, oh, me and my wife and my daughters 14 and 16 and their friends 17 and 6, like whatever it is. Like, how fucking disgusting. What does that mean? Like, you're literally priming your daughters and their friends up to Epstein because you know he's going to be interested that they're young. Like, that's disgusting.
Insane. It's insane.
Disgusting.
You were right with it's Larry Silverstein that owned the World Trade Centers. He took out that insurance policy before it was hit by the planes and brought down in a controlled demolition. And also, he didn't let anybody know. Like, he took the day off for the first time ever to go to his daughter's soccer game. Something at school. And he never did it before.
Not Larry Silverstein. That was the commerce guy that did that. He had to bring his kid.
Was it?
Yeah, he had to pick his kid up from school.
Yeah, and did he have the top 3 floors of the building?
It was like 100 and something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like the top 3 floors of the building. And by the way, that was $1 million a month for rent.
That's crazy.
$1 million a month for rent. Like, how I try to think about that, and I'm like, how do you just piss away 1 million buckaroos a month?
Yeah, so if you're unaware,
rent?
The director of commerce, this guy that you see right next to Trump most of the time nowadays, he was Epstein's neighbor and had an office in the World Trade Center and conveniently was not there the day that it went down.
Crazy. He said that too in like a interview.
I was just saying Trump was calling him out on live TV. So that's
it's so weird.
That's where you get the Q shit. Where Q people would be like, "Oh, see, Trump's on our side. He's calling out the bad guys on live TV." And it's like, "No, because Trump has the bad guys in his fucking party. Like, why is that guy there? Why is he right next to Trump all the fucking time? Trump, if he was a good guy, he would have him in fucking prison him already. Like, there's, like, okay, he's a billionaire, he's powerful, whatever." So, to that point, we get on to the fucking Hillary Clinton bullshit. So, I was pissed because I didn't realize, I wasn't keeping up, that her shit was private. I was looking forward to watching her have to spill it in front of the public and look like an idiot. And no, she got to do it in private, and now the whole thing is being, like, manipulated to look a certain way. So all we get is her statements right now of what she said, and she was able to release her opening statement. Like, she's like, oh, they asked me this and I said that, but this was my opening statements. So in her opening statement, go ahead.
It was a defiant opening statement at her closed door deposition before the House Oversight Committee, and it was part of the investigation into the Jeffrey Epstein. And she emphatically denied ever meeting Epstein or having any knowledge of his crimes, stating, "I had no idea about their criminal activities. I do not recall ever encountering Mr. Epstein.
That is insane.
I never flew on his plane or visited his island home or office."
That is insane.
And that is, I don't know. See, it's all that was listed on the flight logs was Clinton, right? Or was it Bill?
It was definitely.
Was it Bill Clinton?
Yeah, it's Bill Clinton.
Okay,
it's first and last names.
Because if it was ever just the last name Clinton, there's like plausible deniability when it comes to that type of stuff.
There's just no way when you know she wears the fucking pants in that relationship, and like,
I know, right?
All the shit between her and John Podesta with the fucking Pizzagate shit. Like, there's no way that she's implicated in a totally separate ring of people that eat and rape children.
Yeah.
Like, no, probably she was best friends with Epstein, actually. They probably had very similar positions of power where they controlled these rings of fucking nasty people.
So that investigation that was being done is being done on Hillary and Bill. Hillary's calling it a fishing expedition, and political theater, she's accusing Republicans of using her testimony to distract from Donald Trump's extensive ties to Epstein, which I do believe that kind of thing is happening.
But like, also, you do have every right to be one of the first people investigated. Like, yes, the sitting president needs to be investigated about this. But guess what?
But you do too.
He's the sitting president. Of course, it's not going to happen. His fucking director of commerce right there, he should be investigated. But he's also president's right-hand man right now, so he's not going to get investigated. You're his number one enemy. So yes, you are going to get investigated because you 100% deserve to be investigated. Don't act like you don't know him. That's insane. I can't get over it.
Frustration that the deposition was not public, noting that the committee had rejected her request for an open hearing. The session was briefly paused after Representative Lauren Boebert allegedly shared a photo of Clinton during the testimony, which violated the rules against recording in the closed proceedings. So that right there, me and you were talking before this, is plausible way out for her. Like, you could easily just have someone come in and you tell them, hey, take a picture of me and post it, and that will disrupt the hearing.
Right.
So you could just disrupt the hearing real quick, and that buys her more time. It also gives her a way out, and possibly being able to be like, okay, this is all nullified because the process has been corrupted. It won't be. They will still continue through with it, but it did buy time. Which is, I mean, dude, I could easily see that coming from Hillary.
And how insane of her to be like, this should have been public, but fuck you for taking a picture of me and releasing it to the public.
Yeah. Like weird, right?
A picture. But also, like, it should have been public, but also, I doubt she wanted it to be. She's probably elated that it's in private because it was all orchestrated to be in private, most likely, because nobody wants this information to get out. So it makes the most sense that it was private. Man. You know, they say that it was done in private because it's an ongoing investigation and they don't want to contaminate the investigation. That makes sense. Why was Pam Bondi's hearing televised?
Yeah.
Like, Pam Bondi needs to be investigated for covering the shit up. But
I wish that we had more public things going on with, like, her emails. Like, where are these emails? And why isn't that being poured over publicly? Like, they're not putting her on blast properly. It's like a mock trial.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything that it should. We have so much. We have that whole story about all the New York police officers that had Anthony Weiner's laptop that had Hillary Clinton tied material on it, including snuff films and a lot of this pizza talk and horrendous things. And all of them, except for I think it was pretty much all of them now, are dead.
Yeah,
they're gone. They were shmuishmid. They were deleted selfly.
Sewer slide.
Sewer slided.
No, sewer, like the sewer. You take a slide down the sewer.
Yeah.
Sewer
yeah,
slide.
Sewer slided.
It's way better than whatever you've been saying.
Yeah, schmur, schmergen, frierendergen. But it's. I mean, where's that? Where is that? And how if that exists, are we not burning certain people alive? Like, I'm like.
Yeah, I don't know how we're not taken to the streets and revolting like the peasants we are. Like, what? We see the videos, we see the pictures. People are throwing them in your face, and then you look it up, and they're like, actually, that's fake. Dude, go look it up yourself. Go see what's real and what's fake. Because there is some real shit in there. They're just not investigating.
Yeah.
They're just not holding anybody accountable.
Yep.
It's insane. They're blocking out the perpetrator's face. It's like, they know who these people are. They're not doing anything about it.
It's I feel like we've talked about this before too, where it's also they want to generate this outrage. Like there's a
Yeah.
reason this stuff's being released anyway.
Yeah.
This isn't just be like an organic thing just because people wanted it. Like
Yeah,
people
it's
have
all a
wanted a
show.
lot of things for a long time and we still don't have them. Like why would they release this type of stuff? It's for that controlled demolition of the empire. They need to control demolition the way things are right now, the old world and the old system, because they got to make way for this new one, this new AI technocracy and global governance. It's they have to make way for it. So what better way than to put the old guard on blast, all the old power structures. They've got to be they're the pillars of this thing.
Right.
They are the actual pillars for this house of filth and corruption and trafficking and death through military subversion and just they are taking out those pillars and they're replacing them with these new ones. And it makes me nervous to kind of go out on the streets and to flood into the emotional aspect of this, which is
Yeah, 'cause you know
these
it's what
are
they want.
disgusting beings and they need to be gone. But once they're gone, who is taking the place or what?
You know
And
what we
that
do?
is what concerns me.
You know what we do?
What do we do, Dave?
We do. I mean, first of all, we do what we've been saying, which is opt out of those
Oh, yeah.
systems, boycott their products, learn how to make shit yourself, man. Guess what?
Parallel.
My wife has been making everything we buy at the store homemade recently, and like every new item we pick up at the store that's processed, she's been like taking it as a challenge to make it herself. And yo, this shit is so cool. It's got me so impressed. And like she really enjoys it. So I guess if you don't enjoy it, that's pretty tough. But man, like I never loved my wife more. So if you want your husband to love you, start making some shit at home, man. It's like the hack. It is
Start
the
making some
hack.
croissants from
Even-
freaking scratch.
Even if it's like shitty, he'll appreciate that you tried and he'll think you're wonderful and beautiful as you're upset about it. Like it's a really beautiful thing. Like just doing natural at home shit that gets you away from these fucking people. You opt out, you boycott, and then like Tommy says, we build the parallel systems where we can actually like boycott further. We can opt out further because you got a friend that's growing this and somebody that makes that, and you know a guy that does a thing, and everybody helps each other out. Like
Yep.
so that's what you do first, but really we got to pray on it the whole time. First and
Oh,
foremost,
yeah.
we just got to
Huge.
pray on it. We can't get mad and give in to the evil. Let them bring us down to their level where we want to go kill them. People are saying eat the rich. Like
Yep.
if there was
that is a
if that-
communist thing.
if there was an actual revolt though, like a bloody violent revolt, how many people would actually just like start eating the people that they're probably would. They'd be so twisted and deranged and upset and full of the gore and wrath that they would just start eating the rich.
They'd be demon
Physically.
possessed.
Yeah. Don't get to that point, man. Just pray for them. They know not what they do. God'll judge them. God'll fucking damn their souls forever if that's what needs to happen. Maybe they can be saved. Maybe they can turn it around. Maybe they can fucking do something before the end.
That
for
would be
us.
like a true testament to the Lord, really.
Yeah.
I went through a little bit of a spiritual thing myself the last 36 hours,
Yeah,
which was
tell them
kind
that
of
story. That's freaking nuts.
so. I, for the past week, have had it in my mind that I want to do the prayer and fast thing that is described in the Bible. It has been taken out of a lot of Bibles, which is very strange.
What's the verse? 22.
It's
something 22.
Matthew 10:22, I think. Matthew 10:22 or 9:22. I can't remember, bro.
I'll look it up. You tell the story.
But yes, so in this verse, it is stated that basically the pretext of it is that the disciples go out and Jesus gave them the authority to purge demons, to exorcise demons out of people in his name. And a couple of the disciples come back and they're like, this ain't working. We used your name and it's not working on some of these people. And after describing the situation to Jesus, Jesus says, these kind can only be removed through prayer and fasting. And that spoke to me because I am a believer, and I know that I have inherently sinful nature. We all do. And the battle between oneself and their sin is it's a very personal thing, but it's also it's the righteous fight. We got to fight that fight. And so that's what I was trying to do. I don't think that I'm like demon possessed or anything, but I definitely am afflicted with things. I mean, I believe in our pilot episode I mentioned that I was an addict, so I have certain
That is
tendencies
a demon.
to myself.
Don't deny it. You do got a demon.
It's not having a demon. It's not being demon possessed.
I know,
it is being
it's
demon. It's like being afflicted negatively.
Yeah, demon influenced.
Yes. And
I've got
so
some sort of power spell on you.
or it's mostly just like a sin natured just fight. It's a spiritual war. Every human being goes through spiritual war in one way or another.
Yeah.
And so my spiritual war, I just that phrase resonates with me, that verse, because
It's Matthew 17:21, by the way.
17:21. Thank you so much. Back a few years ago, I had an issue with my gallbladder, but at the time I didn't know it was my gallbladder, and it went undiagnosed for months. And I couldn't eat without extreme pain, and so it kind of forced me into this fasting situation where I went a stretch of time, 6 days, without eating anything but a single banana. I had a single banana. And this extreme fasting put me in such a place that was highly spiritual in nature. And I was confronted with a lot of things, mainly like my mortality and other related things. But it turns out after I get my gallbladder taken out and I get the assistance from my uncle, my dear uncle,
who we want on this podcast. If you're listening,
yes,
you got to get on here.
I have to talk with him more, 1,000%, and try to get him on here because that would be an amazing episode. I consider him like kind of a saint. He really is. He's truly one of the best people I know on the planet, by far. And he takes me in. He's kind of been like a second father for me my entire life, real close. And he's gone through a lot of stuff when it comes to his health. And he's always been looking for like ways to fix it. He was in the military, and he got double vaxxed in the military. Ooh. He got 2 rounds of all the vaccines that they give you in the military, and it messed him up to a level that is criminal. So many different complications to his health and to his sanity and to just his quality of life. And so he kind of set out on a mission to rectify that. And he didn't want to give up. He wanted to fight and to improve his life and to see if he can heal from this. And it led him on a journey of a certain kind that actually works. It's actually kind of the best system for health I've ever seen.
And really, everybody that's had a vaccination needs to detox from it.
Oh, 1,000%. And he knows all the stuff. So I after my my battle with that, I was talking with him a lot, and I ended up going under his wing for quite a while, for like a year, where I changed my diet completely. I lost a massive amount of weight. I detoxed my ass off, had symptoms that were insane, and ate very clean, and it was the best I've ever felt in my entire life, my whole entire life. And I mean, I was a young kid with all that energy, like vitality in my veins, in my cells, and I felt better and clearer and like more spiritually connected to myself and to things around me during that time when I was with my uncle and after my gallbladder surgery. So basically, I have this precedent for fasting because I had to do it a lot, and I saw what it really did for me. Not only with like weight loss and like, but also through like the spiritual side of it. It's a very spiritual affair when you deny your flesh, when you tell it no, and you regain control over your flesh, because we are like two different beings. We're our bodies, but we're also our spirit and our soul. And our soul is supposed to be at the seat, at the throne, governing this vessel. But unfortunately, a lot of times in life, and for most people, our flesh kind of runs the show. We have a lot of bad habits. We have a lot of triggers emotionally and just even physically that end up expressing sin in our lives. It keeps a loop going. I was an addict, as I mentioned, so that expresses through multiple layers of habit and behavior. So, and I've been kind of at a weird place lately, so I decided that I wanted to just try and do this fasting, and I've been talking about it for a while. And so, earlier this week, on a Sunday, I was like, all right, I'm going to do this thing. And I think I have to actually, like, schedule it. I have to, like, put a date to it and think about it every single day, and then just do it. And that's what I did. So through the whole week, I'm working and stuff, and every day I'm thinking about this thing. Like, not the whole time, like every day, all day, but like just knowing that this is coming up. This Thursday, I'm going to do this thing. And I have the day off, so I can just chill at home, distract myself with some video games, pray to God in the morning, pray to God at night, pray to Him whenever I have any type of pains from hunger or temptations to eat, and try to get into communion. And Thursday rolls around, actually midnight rolls around, and I have my last meal. And I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. I go to bed. And I wake up to being told that I was scheduled for work. And I'm like, what? No way. I haven't worked a Thursday since I started working at this place. And he's like, yep, you're scheduled for it. And I'm like, oh, crap. I'm like, well, I don't think I can make it in. And I get up and I start getting ready. And he's like, no, you don't have to come in. You don't have to come in. We have someone to cover you. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then next thing you know, 30 minutes later, I get a call. Yeah, we kind of need you. Someone had an emergency. And I'm like, man, this fasting. I didn't even have my morning cup of coffee. I'm like, dang it, dude. Dang it. I need my coffee usually, but like, I was like, I'm not doing it because that has like sugar in it the way I drink it. A lot of sugar. I have creamer and sugar. So that's like a lot of sugar. And it's not going to put my body into the state it needs to be in to do the thing I need it to do.
Right.
So I just said no coffee. And I'm like, now I got to go to work with no coffee. I usually always have stimulants when I'm going to work. Like, always. But no stimulants that day. And it was supposed to be a day off. And that felt like a test to me.
Right.
Truly, it felt like a test to me. I've never had a Thursday I've had to work ever. And then it's the Thursday that I plan to do this thing for God. Like,
and
this
he's like, you're not going to sit
me.
home and chill. You're going to go to work and fucking sweat.
Yes.
It's not going to be an easy
suffer,
pass.
And suffer. You're going to suffer in the ways that you need to suffer. Like, there's no way to get to where you want to be without a little discomfort, Tommy. Right. That's what he was telling me. He's like, so I have to go and do that. And I work and I get the shittiest route. I'm late to work, first of all, so I'm behind. I get the shittiest route, and I am bitching the whole day pretty much. And I'm trying to, like, also rein myself in because I keep getting these, like, it's like my flesh starts yelling at me early at times when I'm never hungry. I won't need to eat before noon. Right. But for some reason, I was hungry before noon. And, like, my mind just knowing that, like, my body knowing that my mind is saying we're not doing this thing, it, like, made it freak out and, like, try to trigger me faster. And I'm, like, witnessing this dialogue that happens between your mind, spirit, and your flesh, and then God, and just this overtone that's happening for the day. And it's like, no matter what, I'm not doing it. No matter what, I'm not going to eat until Friday at 5 o'clock. It's going to be a 36-hour fast, and I think it was actually more than 36 hours. It was 41 hours. Yeah.
No.
No,
You're 24. What time is your fish fry?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, so it would have been...
But I didn't end up eating until like almost 6.
All right, so then it would have been 38 or 39 hours.
Something like that. Yeah, so anyway, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I will not. This is not happening. And that dialogue was pretty constant throughout the day. But I felt kind of good about it. I had God with me. And I was like doing this for him. I'm like witnessing what's happening during the day, this struggle. And even though I was a little irritated with the route and like dumb people that I encounter during my work days, and I was getting frustrated, and normally frustration leads you to kind of dive into your sin or into your flesh or into your shitty habits. But every time that would happen, I'd have to deny that. And it was a very good exercise in that way. That happened a lot that day. And I didn't eat. It was so good. And then I get out of work, and I'm going to my car, getting ready to go home. And as I try to take off from my parking spot, what do you know? My car won't turn properly. And apparently, my tie rod broke when I entered my parking spot. So I had a tie rod break in the front end of my car. I can't go anywhere. I can't leave work. I can't go home. And I have to now call AAA. I'm like, okay, Lord, I see what's happening here. This is pretty wild. Thank you. And I get a hold of Dave. First of all, I talk to Dave and kind of pour over this situation and stuff, and he offers me up a good prayer and some good conversation for a half hour, which was nice. And
I hit you with the revelation that it's a blessing, because if that happened while you were driving, flying down the highway, you'd be fucking dead. So where anybody else would be sitting here pissed off because, oh, I had to come to work and it was a shitty day at work and now my fucking car's broke down and I'm just tired and it's late and I want to go home and I gotta wait, the fucking tow truck's taking forever. Me and him are laughing. We're laughing because God is so fucking funny.
He's so good.
Not only
he's so good.
Not only is he like pushing Tommy on this day where he's trying to fast, he's like, fuck you. I'll make your day a little bit harder just so your fast is harder.
How committed are you, Tom? Because you say this shit all the time.
But he's like, I'm not just going to push you. I'm going to show you that I fucking love you because I saved your life today.
Yep. How beautiful is that terrible circumstance?
Right.
That is God. That is God all day long. And that is a little glimpse of that. And that's so cool that you can get into that communion whenever you want. You just have to make that commitment and show up. If you make that commitment and show up and you stay in that dialogue and you kind of open your mind a little bit to things instead of looking at them for face value. Because face value, that was a terrible day. Yeah. But in all reality, it was actually an awesome day. It was actually an awesome day. It took me 6 hours. 6 hours to get a tow back to my dad's house so that I could get the car repaired. Because he's a mechanic and he's awesome. My pops is awesome. And so I end up freaking losing my shit after a little while with the with AAA. I'm kind of irritated as fuck because it's like for the first 3.5 hours of waiting, I was calm, cool, collected. I'm like, I'm not gonna be mean to these people. They're not bad, you know. They're just doing what they're supposed to do and blah blah blah. But then it comes to the point where they've told me so many times that it's gonna be like 30 minutes. 30 minutes they'll show up, and I'm like, it's been an hour and a half now. I need a freaking tow. All right. Like, tell these guys, like, what's going on? Like, I need to understand what's going on. And I tell my mom because I was going to have her come get me. But nope. Freaking, I was like, I got to stay with the car. It's only going to be 30 minutes. And that 30 minutes just kept happening until it's 6 fucking hours. I'm like, dude, I could have been home.
Yeah,
I could have been home.
That's insane.
I get home and I get to my dad's house at like 4 something in the morning, like 4:15 in the morning. And my great father is up. He's got the truck running and warming up, and he's gonna bring me back to my place after I drop the car off there because he goes to work early anyway. He's like, I'm up anyway. Like he was worried about me and whatnot after I messaged him, so he couldn't go back to bed. And he ends up bringing me home, and I don't end up getting to bed till like 6 in the morning. And then I have a wonderful 10 o'clock wake up because my sister's coming over with my new nephew. And I'm like, I gotta meet my nephew, you know? And so I get barely any sleep. I'm still on that like 0 sleep from the whole event. But I get to meet my nephew, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Had a great time with my sister and my grandmother and my aunt. It was a great time. And then I get to go to the fish fry. Finally, fish fry comes up, and I get to eat. And I waited until I got the fish. And you know what the fish fry's for? The fish fry is going on because of Lent.
Oh.
So it's like a part of it too. Right. And it was just like this whole thing, this whole 36 plus hour thing. And I did it. And I'm actually kind of happy with myself about it because normally I don't commit to shit, especially if it has any type of like pains involved. But yeah.
Tommy doesn't take on uncomfortable tasks.
I try to find my way around them as much as I can and do whatever the fuck else so that I can keep doing my own dumb shit. And I know that that's a problem, so I tried to do the thing, and I did it. And I mean, I would like to try and keep making that like an exercise and exercising that dominion over my flesh and break those patterns, because that's what it's going to take. It happened when I had the gallbladder issue, where interrupting that pattern of feeding the self and kind of moving with your spirit instead of moving from your body, it builds a different thing. Like I have never been a hard physical labor type guy ever in my life, ever. After the gallbladder thing, I ended up getting a job that was like prison work. I was picking up stones out of farmers' fields for fucking 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Making great cash, by the way, but it was the hardest physical labor of my life. And I was out of town for like a week at a time, staying at a hotel and shit.
And you were bagging coal.
Dude, I was bagging coal too at the same time. Like, I started diving into this other side of myself that I have never been able to. I was in the best shape of my life. I was jacked. I was just also fucking still had a little bit of flab on me, but not much. It was mostly just like, just kind of extra padding. I've always had extra padding. Always. I don't think I'll ever not. But I was healthy. I was really healthy. And I know that it's possible. And it's you got to break those discomforts.
Yeah, a lot of people get caught
goes on to other things. It's not just food, guys. Yeah. It's not just food. It can go into drugs. It can go into
shopping,
shitty behavior, shopping, gambling, working,
video games,
sex addictions, video games, all sort. It goes into every facet of where the flesh leads you into ruin, your spirit through God will save you.
Yeah.
Seek God in the scripture, a thing that Jesus said. It turned out to be a fantastic thing in my life. Even if it was a challenge, it was one giant challenge, the 36 hours.
It's like a frame of mind thing. Like,
yes.
though it's going to be hard, it's going to be rewarding, and it's not going to be as hard as you ever think it is.
Yep.
And
yeah, it was awesome. It was a very cool thing. I got the communion with God that I was seeking. I was seeking a communion with God, and I got it.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's a very cool thing. It was a wild thing, but I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade my shitty day for fucking anything. It was pretty fun, pretty cool.
Well, I'm glad you were able to do that. Hopefully you guys too can tackle your shitty behaviors and maybe have a communion with God. Maybe have a communion with us. Comment down below.
Heck yeah.
Like, follow, subscribe, all those things. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, wherever else we are. Oh, we got TikTok now.
Yep.
X.
Yep, we have a TikTok.
If you want to be on the show, or if you have anything that wants to be sponsored, we'll sponsor you for fucking real cheap. We just want to practice sponsorship on the real cheap, so hit us up. Spotify, or not Spotify, Shepherd's Pie podcast at gmail.com. We fucking love you guys. Hope you enjoyed.
Love you.
Thank you very much. See you.
God bless.